Hey guys, welcome to Night Owls. It is December 8th, Sunday. We do these night owls different times, it seems, because we get busy and stuff. So, but it's always fun. I always do love doing night owls, and it's great to be here with you, with Sasha. And we got a new, here's Button. She's got a new sweater she wants to show off. And she's got, if you can see here, it's the, what is that?
Yeti for
The Yeti.
Christmas
Yeti for
from
Christmas.
Rudolph.
Yeah. So say hi, Button, to everyone. She's like, wow. Sasha's watching old reruns of Sex and the City. And I have to admit, I find them kind of funny too.
They are funny.
I don't want to admit that because it comes across as gay.
Every guy I've ever known that was straight liked Sex and the City.
But
Brandon liked it. My friend Mark
it's
liked
funny.
it. It is funny. And it makes fun of men and women.
Before I saw it, I thought it was something I just really hate.
Yeah.
Because I thought it's just, it's not as degenerate as you would think it is.
Well, it's degenerate, but it's still funny.
It is.
I don't care. I'm not that much of a moral. I mean, I'm morals, but I don't want to say the F slur on here, but you know what I mean.
Yes.
Like they gets offended by everything. I don't really care.
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand that. And, but anyway, Button likes to watch the TV, and there's a dog in that one episode.
Jack Russell, I think.
Oh, she goes crazy about that dog. And the other day we were in Huntsville, and we went to a dog shelter, and we saw a husky. It wasn't at that dog shelter, but that day, and it was like, oh, but they're like wild dogs.
I know, it was so pretty,
and they go after cats.
I know.
That's
why I can't have one.
If you got a husky as a puppy, you could probably train it better not to chase cats. But
right.
They have one of the biggest prey drives. So
well, Mosca's dog chased Buddy at the apartment, and his dog's pretty well behaved.
Well, should we mention we had a by the way, a Dave and his wife. I won't say his wife's name because we didn't get permission. I don't like to,
Right.
unless they say permission, but. We had such a wonderful time at their Christmas party. I don't know if you guys have Christmas parties, but Dave had one, and it gets. I think this was the third one, and I think they get better every year.
They do. This is the only Christmas party I get invited to. Our work doesn't have one. I don't know. We have one usually.
That's too bad. It's a good tradition to have that
fun.
get together with people. A lot of people just don't get together anymore.
No, they don't.
And we try to, and we're having a small gathering this weekend. But it's really sad. One of our friends that we met, it's funny, we meet a lot of people and we keep in touch with some, but a couple like Dave and this other guy, won't say his name, but he's a young guy. And we're going to miss him because he's moving off.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for him because he got a great job, but we're sad because he was like one of the core people we always saw at game night and everything else.
Right. He was reliable.
Very
he
reliable.
Ghost
Yeah.
people
No, very good guy.
So many people do that now too.
Yeah, he was a very intelligent man. So it's going to be sad to lose him, but it's good for him though. So that's kind of the bittersweet nature of when people come and go.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, and so we had a great time at the Christmas party, and so thank you, Dave, for that. And another guy that goes by the name of Scott, who's on our roundtable, was there. And he's a real good guy too. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, his real name's not Scott, but he goes by Scott on the roundtable. So it was great to see him.
And it was a nice surprise too.
Yeah, I didn't know he was coming, so it was really cool to see him, and he lives quite a ways away. So that was a lot of fun. So I hope you guys all.
Oh, and write us at the P.O. Box. We have a P.O. Box. Paul always forgets. He mentioned it the other day for the first time in like 6 months. It's P.O. Box 8093, Fayetteville, Arkansas 72703.
Yeah, that is. Thank you. So.
And you have a super chat too.
Oh, generous one already. Thank you.
Yeah, Kenzie, thank you. Have you seen or plan on seeing Gladiator 2? Any thoughts? The first movie was a 10 out of 10.
Well, it's interesting you brought that up because that was one of the things I had on my, because we don't really prepare for night owls, but sometimes I put down bullet points, and I had that as a bullet point. We have seen Gladiator 2, and I will give my review, then I'll have Sasha give hers. I liked it. First of all, it was based on the real two dual emperors they had, the two brothers, and is somewhat historical, but it's a lot of fiction. So you just have to get over the fiction aspect of it and don't get too autistic. Like, it's not super realistic. It wasn't. But the action was a lot of fun. It's not going to be a classic movie in my opinion, but it was a good movie. I could recommend it. The CGI was great, and I know this kind of sounds because usually I don't like a CGI, but the fights in the Coliseum session I thought were really cool.
Yeah, they were.
They really got the CGI to look realistic.
I thought it was good. I enjoyed it. I never saw the first one. A lady I work with said the first one was great.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to watch the first one. I'll be off work for the holidays.
That was Russell Crowe, right? That. The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I think Joaquin Phoenix is in it as well.
Yeah, I think the first one was probably better. And really, this one was sort of the same vibe. I mean, there's no spoilers. The guy gets caught as a warrior by the Romans, and he ends up having to be a slave and fight in the Colosseum and trying to overcome that. So that's the basic plot. But it's it's worth it. And this is one of those rare movies because there's a lot of movies I would say, unless you're a huge like to go outside to the movie theaters, you could just see it on HBO or whatever, Netflix. But this one I think it was worth going to in the big screen.
I think there's a lot of movies you should see on the big screen. I saw 2 movies today, and one of them I would definitely say you should see on the big screen. One was My Neighbor Totoro, which is an old movie. Most people have seen it, but the other one was a movie called Flow, and it's about a cat that's like home washes away, and he's on this boat with these other animals, but they don't talk. It's not like a Pixar movie where they talk in English.
Yeah.
It's just animal noises the whole time. It would have upset Button because there was dogs in it.
Would it
kind of reminded me of the game Stray. But a little different. But it was good, I thought.
Yeah.
It had a good soundtrack, and it was. I thought it was almost better than Totoro.
And what was the other one you saw?
My Neighbor Totoro.
What was the other one?
An old movie from the 80s.
No, you said
it's
you saw
cartoon.
2.
Yeah, Flow.
Flow,
was the
okay.
other one. Flow was the one I was just talking about that I think you should see on big screen. Also, Wicked was good. Mostly you have a male audience.
I didn't see that.
Mosca loved it. We both loved it. And everybody I've talked to so far that's seen it loved it. It was really good. And that was good on a big screen, too.
What'd you think about the Black Evil Witch or whatever that?
I thought she did a good job. She could sing. That's probably why she got the part. Because of hitting all the notes. I mean, Mosca was impressed, too.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really bothered. At first I kind of was during the trailers because I just thought, oh, it's a DEI. Kind of like Snow White. But I think the difference is this lady actually is talented, whereas that bitch that's playing Snow White is not. And it's a little different with Snow White versus the Wicked Witch because Snow White isn't like, Colombian or whatever she is.
In the original Wizard of Oz, because I saw the making of it and they interviewed the original witch. And they picked her, they were kind of cruel back then because she was kind of ugly.
Yeah. I think she was a teacher.
Yeah.
Wasn't she a school teacher?
She was.
Yeah.
And they said they picked her because they wanted an ugly woman. And she was good-natured enough to...
What was her name? Margaret... What was her name? Do you remember?
I don't remember, but she had this great appearance on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood years ago, where she helped explain to the kids that, she just was an actress and it wasn't real. And she put on her witch costume. But she was a nice lady too. But so that black lady, I think, is sort of ugly. But at the same time, the witch is supposed to be ugly.
Right. Mosca said he thought that they could have got somebody with more like pointed features. He said he thought Barbara Streisand.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, that'd probably be good because she can sing.
It would have been good.
She is witchy, but she's too old.
A lot of Jewish women get the witchy look.
They do.
Well, so that would have worked out.
Well, Bette Midler and like that movie Hocus Pocus, weren't they all Jewish? It was like Sarah Jessica Parker, Bette Midler, and I don't remember who the other lady was, but I'm pretty sure. I know Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker are, but they had that witch look.
It's funny how like different ethnicities age, and Jewish women can be, I think, attractive when they're young, but once they get older, they get real witchy looking.
Yeah.
But they all have so. But that would have made it good. I think. I don't know. Do they have any Jewish actresses in Hollywood they would have done?
Yeah, I think so.
They might have a few. I didn't see it because I'm not female or gay, so I didn't go. But we don't always go to the same movies. We go to a lot. You know what? Today on the round table, someone really brought up they're going to see the guy from Canada. I don't want to say his name, just keep it private.
I know who you're talking about. I think
he Nosferatu or whatever.
Oh, Nosferatu. Yeah, I want to see that too.
And he said they're going to go, and he wants us to go and give a review. I said I hadn't talked to Sasha about it, but I'm sure she would like to see it. So we're going to see that.
Yeah, we're gonna go see it. I think it comes out in February, right?
He says it comes right after Christmas.
Oh, okay, so soon.
Like,
well, me and Brandon.
He said they're going to go on Boxing Day in Canada. That's the day after Christmas. And Boxing Day, I never knew what it was. It sounds like it's the day you fight, but what it is where you have your Christmas gifts and everything and food, and you box up, I guess, some leftovers for the servant the next day. So we should do that the day after Christmas. We should box up our leftovers for the servants, our servants.
Yeah, but who's ours? We don't have any button. You get.
No, we always no. Yeah, we need
You're
servants.
Lazy.
No, we don't have that. I mow my own lawn. Damn it! I don't have a Mexican do it.
Yeah. Well, me and Brandon were talking, and we're gonna go see Goonies next month. It's gonna be in theaters for the 40th anniversary. What is on your coaster? What the hell is that?
I got this. Someone mailed us some coasters, and it looks like a religious. So thank you. Here you go.
Let me see that.
I think it's the Saints or something.
Oh, that's cool.
Isn't it though?
Yeah, I'd never seen it before. I was like, that's not mine.
No, I know.
It almost looked like the Golden Girls from here.
Yeah.
I thought it was like Betty White and Rue McClanahan and.
So now, what did you think of Gladiator 2? Since that guy was nice enough to give us a good.
I liked it. It wasn't like super memorable.
I didn't know if Sasha.
It didn't stick with me. Like
It was one of those things that I didn't know if Sasha going in would like it, but afterwards I could tell if you really like it or not. Cause
no, I liked it.
Yeah, I could tell. You said you liked it. Yeah.
My only thing is it didn't stick with me. Like there's a lot of movies you see and you like them, but you don't think about them like a week later.
Yeah.
And there's only a few movies really that kind of do that anymore, like new movies where you're just like thinking about them. Like The Substance was like that, where I thought about it.
Oh yeah, The Gladiator 2 is not a movie that you're right. It's not like you're gonna.
It's like a popcorn movie kind of.
It is, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is. It's like Twisters. I saw that, and that's a popcorn, and I enjoyed it. But it's like not one of those movies that it's like. I don't know. I'm not probably going to get it when it comes out on Blu-ray or anything.
You're not going to like afterwards, sit around and try to find hidden meetings.
No,
or stuff like
I mean,
that.
I'm glad I saw it once,
Right.
but it's not going to be.
It's not like Apocalypse Now or.
It's not like Kill Bill or something that I.
Or even some of the other ones. Sasha never wanted to see it with me, so once you were gone, I watched it. I finally watched Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, it's funny. I told Mosca that because we were talking about it, and he agreed with me. It's like one of those movies you only watch once because it's so freaking depressing. Because we were talking about movies that are like that. That's definitely one that you never want to watch.
Hollywood is, and I hope they get away from that, but they're kind of scared now to do edgy movies. And I'm not just talking woke, it's almost like they can't do a movie that has a sad ending, or it's just all formalistic now.
Yeah.
And it's too bad. We got before the show, a couple from Kim in Finland, and he talked one. You want to read this about the cars?
Which one?
Right here, below here. This was
okay. Thank you. You talked about cars last Tuesday. I have two M5s, E34 and E39.
Bingo.
E39 was nice, but I love the E34 M5. I'd love to have another one. Prices are going up. Also, a 70 Challenger and a 68 Camaro would be nice. Ferrari is crap.
My brother, when we were in high school, he got an old Dodge Challenger. It was 1970 or something, but it was like one of those vintage muscle cars. And that was a fast car. It was cool.
It's weird. I never talk about cars, but today twice cars have been brought up. Me and Brandon were talking about cars, and now we're talking about cars.
Well, I'm not a super car guy,
right.
So I don't even know what a E34 is, to be honest.
I don't either.
So,
my favorite car is like an old Corvette. From like the 80s. Like the Batmobile was a Corvette.
You mean like the old Stingrays?
Like, yeah, like the really cool. I don't know, do they even look like that anymore?
I'd like
the way they used to.
I saw a new Corvette today. There's a lot of money here in Northwest Arkansas. It was a real new one. It looks sharp. I still think they look nice. And
like if I had a lot of money, if I was rich, that's what the kind of car I would have. I would get a Corvette.
And we'd get a dog with papers button. You don't have papers. Sometimes just the free dogs are the best, so.
Yeah, those poor dogs in the shelter. Paul made the mistake of making us go look at them, because I usually don't when I donate stuff. It's just like, here's the stuff, and then you go. And he's like, let's look at the dogs. I'm like, no. And Brandon, we were talking about that. Diggers, yeah, because you want to adopt every creature you see.
Yeah.
There was a cat there that I still think about, but she probably got adopted. She was tiny and shy, kind of like Buddy. and she just came up and let me sniff her. They didn't have very many cats. They said that they get rid of the cats pretty quick. People like adopt the cats, I think, because they're easier to take care of than
There was
dogs.
one dog that looked like a shepherd. I felt so sorry for him. I mean, if it was in a different situation, I'd get him. He was 8 years old.
Oh yeah.
And that's bad because he only got a couple of years left, and they're hard to adopt, those old dogs, and I feel sorry for them. It's like give them a good
I
life.
would adopt an old dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And sometimes it's not as most of the dogs are adults. Not there were some puppies at that one place.
He'd probably be more calm.
A lot of times you get an adult dog,
An
they're
old dog.
already. The puppies are cute, but they go through a rough. I mean, they chew and they pee.
Oh, I
and
know. They're yeah.
it's sometimes getting an adult dog's not really a bad deal, and they bond real
Same
quick.
with cats. You see how lazy Louise is.
Yeah.
He just lays around.
Yeah. So okay, and we see the bullet points I had there: Christmas Party and Gladiator 2. And the next thing I want to talk about, one of our friends, Brandon, he's going to Japan in a week, and I would love to go there. Sasha and I talked about that, and
I told him no matter what next year, unless I die, I plan to go.
yeah, it should be.
Like, I'm not going to put it off again. It needs to be something. If you're going to do it, let's do it. I'm glad Brandon decided to take the plunge and go, because we've talked about going for years. And he's going to kind of scope it out, and he's already talking about like us going next year, and he was looking at deals, and hopefully he doesn't get lonely going by himself. Sometimes you go on trips alone, it gets kind of lonely.
Yeah.
I went to Amsterdam by myself, and I had fun, but at the same time I was like, oh, it'd be nice to have somebody here to share it with, not just be by yourself. And people go in groups and everything. I always thought that'd be kind of fun.
The only trouble with a lot of the group, when I was in Budapest, you'd always see the Japanese. They almost never would visit a place alone. They always had those tour groups, and you have like a lady with a sign, and I know it's a stereotype, but they all have their cameras, and they take photos of everything, a crack in the street.
I love Japanese. I want to go. And then we've been watching all those Studio Ghibli movies, and they all take place in Japan.
We could go, the birthplace of the great Japanese American Jared Taylor. So
see, Jared was born there.
Yeah, so.
Like,
that'd be fun to see. I'd like to go there too.
Well, we're gonna go next year. We just have to figure out. I want to go to 90s Con, but and Brandon was like, "Well, you should just go," and I was like, "It'd be expensive though, because I'd have to go to Connecticut. It's in Connecticut, but it looks fun. It's a convention about things from the 90s, and they get like people from 90210 there, and like Frightmare, but I guess for 90s stuff. I wish they had an 80s Con. I would rather go to that.
Oh, I have something for you. You didn't even know this, but I to see, because Sasha loves toys, and let's see if you remember these toys from the 80s.
Probably.
There's 30 of them, so let's see if she knows.
You want me to name them? You should like hide the name and let me guess what they're called. That would be more fun. Make it like a game.
Well, we'll just.
You can just there should be a picture, and you could just show me the pictures of them.
Well, they don't have that though. To see this, you see what you get. So the Care Bears.
That sucks. Yes, I know what Care Bears are. I think most people do. They're still around.
Are they?
Yes, you can buy them now at Walmart. They have Care Bears. They're not as cute. They changed the way they looked.
I don't. Atari. I remember Pong. I played Pong. Did you ever play Pong?
Yes.
Asteroids. I played Pac-Man. Space Invaders. Yeah, that was a great one. Strawberry Shortcake.
Yes, you can still get Strawberry Shortcake stuff.
Pogo Ball. I don't remember that. Do you?
Yeah, is that where you're gonna... No, I think a Pogo Stick. Is that the one that has like a Nerf kind of? Where it's like a disc and there's a ball in the middle of it and you put your feet between it and you jump, you bounce on it?
I don't know, yeah.
I bet it is. Steel coil and foot pads. Yeah, I know what those are. Space Legos. I know what Legos are.
Yeah, I don't remember that either. Monster in My Pocket.
Yes.
That sounds dirty.
I like My Pet Monster.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Of course, everybody my age knows what that
Ruby's
is.
cute.
Yes.
I had a friend that could solve it like in 30 seconds. Yes, he was a geek. Roller Racer.
No, I don't know what that is.
Speak and Spell.
Yes, I know what that is.
Light, a Bright Magic.
Yes,
That
you
was
can
fun.
still buy those too.
Koosh Ball. I don't remember
Yes.
that. What are those?
Are those the squishy balls?
Oh, was that it?
Oh,
I think I remember those, yeah.
Tort Series, 6 Living Koosh, maybe. I don't know. Look it up. Let's see what it looks like.
Okay. But you're panning.
But you're not hot, are you?
Oh, yeah, I've seen these before.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those too.
We'll show
I think
it to
I
the
had
audience.
one.
Let's see here. This is a Koosh Ball.
Yeah, those are kind of fun.
Yeah, I'll just show this. They were kind of fun. They feel good just to feel. Koosh ball right here, koosh ball. Guess they still sell them, so.
They still sell everything, it seems like. Everything on that list. Like, I want to see an obscure ass list that people don't remember. Because this is shit you can still buy. Glowworms they still make, or they did a few years ago. They don't look good anymore. Pound puppies, I saw some even at Harps today. Fashion plates, I have fashion plates. And I think they still make those too.
What's the fashion plates? I don't even know.
I've got one in your hall closet. Like,
Oh,
all
I'm
it is
sure.
like these little plates, and you can do outfits, and you like get a piece of paper and a crayon, and you kind of like grave, what's it, like grave marking or whatever, or you can do it with leaves, where you take a leaf and you stencil it. You know what
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about?
Yeah, so you make
But you
like.
can make outfits for them. Like, there's a stack of skirts, a stack of tops,
Mm-hmm.
and then the heads and the hair, and then you can mix and match them, and then do that and color them if you want to be like a fashion designer.
Moon shoes. I don't remember those. Do you
I
remember those?
think I do, but look at a
We're gonna look up moon shoes. This was a
no, I
different
don't remember
alternative
those.
timeline. Let me just see here. Let me do moon shoes 80s. Maybe that would do better. Mm.
Somebody in the chat said they don't understand why people like or Garbage Pail Kids existed. Garbage Pail Kids are cool. I have some 80s throwback ones where they did like
Mm-hmm.
they had Elvira and Strawberry Shortcake and
Mm-hmm.
He-Man and She-Ra. And they were, some of them were gross. I didn't like the one with the lady with the snakes in her head.
Yeah.
But the Medusa one, I don't remember what her name was. And there was like Smelly Shelly, the mermaid. Do you remember Garbage Pail Kids? You probably didn't collect those because you would have been too old, I guess.
No, I didn't.
You knew what they were though, didn't you?
I've heard of them. Yeah.
You should look those
Are
up.
are these the moon shoes from the 80s or something new? They look just really stupid.
They do look stupid. I don't know.
Short guys should wear them.
Maybe they do.
Like some e-celebrities we know, some short guys, they could wear those.
Well, remember Prince always wore high heels.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's because he was so short.
You know what? One of the new fashion things I'm going to do is I'm going to start dressing like a cowboy, like Milo, and just have boots on and everything.
Yeah,
Because that'll even be taller.
I like boots. My dad used to wear boots when I was a kid.
Cowboy boots?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get me some cowboy boots.
That's what guys would wear when they'd go out on dates and stuff. Put your cowboy boots on, Paul.
Yeah.
Polly Pocket, yes, those are they brought those back. You can still get He-Man.
All right, I gotta look at Polly Pocket because I don't even. Well, I don't even know.
They're
but
little figurines.
You're
I want a
collector.
hard quiz. Find me something difficult, Paul.
Well, that
If we're
didn't
gonna
happen
do these.
beforehand, so I don't have that. So let's see here.
I bet I could find something.
Images.
See, they still make them. They're not as cute as they used to be, though.
Well, it's a girl thing. It looks like,
It
right?
was.
Well, here I'll show it to the thing here if you guys remember this for the females in our audience.
Yeah, all two of you.
Or the gay men. Maybe you got some gripers here. Here's. Yeah, I don't remember those. So they're just like little dolls or something.
They're little figures that you can snap clothes on.
Mm-hmm. We got.
Oh, you have a couple actually. We got
all right,
one
let's
from
go.
earlier.
Yeah.
We want to do one from earlier? I'll do that one.
All right.
Clutch Fan 1971, $10. Thank you. Have you heard about the mysterious drones flying around New Jersey? It's all over the news. Some of the size of small cars. We just had one near our house. Thoughts?
Did you see that one?
No, I haven't been on X,
I was asking
really.
Clutch if he saw it. You don't have to give a super chat. Just.
Did you know about those?
I saw a brief thing in the news about that, and yeah, I'm not sure. I know that drones are being used a lot. I'm not. We were just talking about that last night. I don't remember if we were there when we were talking about the drones, because there is we didn't know the answer to this. Like, how much of the airspace do you own above your house?
Oh yeah, we were talking about that last night.
Like, is it like, so because someone's fly like a drone just right over your house to have like an advertisement, there's nothing you could do? Because there's that one guy, I showed a video, he shot the drone, the 72-year-old man just shot it.
Yeah.
They will be, I don't know if I really like the idea of drones flying over your house and shit like that. Because I'm sure they're noisy and I kind of like just being quiet and everything.
Me too.
I heard about that, but let me just see here. These were the drones around New Jersey. Let me look that up because I remember seeing something about that. So
Oh
let's
my
just
God,
take.
how many tabs do you have open? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 tabs open.
Yeah, sometimes I even get more of it because they.
That drives me crazy.
But then which do I close? I just have to go through here, and close some of these
Close the
here.
ones you're not using, like
Now
that
see,
one.
I
You're
now
not using
because you
that.
made me close the Rumble one now. See, that's what happened.
Oh, well.
So we could have a rant we missed now. So sorry guys, I gotta bring the Rumble up because I was closing all the things here. All right, here we go. I'll close some of
There you
these here.
go.
Those moon shoes look kind of silly
They
here.
do.
All right, well, bring up this story. I don't know. Is this supposed to be like UFOs or just drones?
Are they trying to scare us into getting
Growing
another
mystery
war or
over
something?
drone sightings in New York and New Jersey. Yeah, let's see here. I hate these ads, but once we get off the ads, I'll
You
do
gotta
it.
get ad blocker.
Tonight, the investigation into reports of small car-sized drones hovering over New York and New Jersey is deepening.
It's slowing
We
down.
don't have our headphones
Tonight,
on.
authorities in
So what
Toms
are
River,
they
New
for?
Jersey,
Police
launching their
chasing
own
mystery
drone offensive
giant
for a
drones.
closer
they don't
look.
even know. Do you
Their
think
eye
it-
in the
like
sky,
it-
capturing one of the
Well, they
drones
could
in
be like
motion.
Chinese.
You're not
That's what it
targeting
could
or
be,
going
could
after
just
them,
be
so to
hobbies.
speak. Is there
Yeah.
a methodology and reason
Well, maybe
why?
it could be
Well,
hobbies.
right now we just
Who
want
could
to
be
identify
flying
what
Mars
it is.
though?
buy
The
them
way
on
it was
Amazon.
explained,
Yeah.
they're 2 feet
I
bigger
don't know
than
what
our
the
drones.
laws are about that, but
Oh, if there's not a law, there will be soon, I'm sure.
well, I don't know if I want drones all over my house.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, Tone Soprano. Almost time for your 2025 prediction video. I almost forgot that. Remember, I do that every year. And I got to review how I did last year. I pressed it bad because I think, well, I did predict Biden would win, so I really
Didn't you
whiffed on that.
predict Trump would be in jail?
I didn't think I predicted that, but I did predict that, well, he'd be convicted. I was right about that. And then I predicted Biden would win, so I really blew that.
Yeah.
And that's why I did my funky dance.
See.
Yeah. So, yeah, I will do my prediction videos and review my old predictions. That's a good point. I almost forgot about that.
Louis Barrow, $3. Thank you. Sasha and you should join me in Detroit where we go sing Christmas cards to the youths and teens.
Carols.
Oh, yeah, you had it covered up with a thing. Christmas carols to the youths and teens.
Well, that sounds risky, but
I've never gone caroling ever. Have you?
not had door to door, but when I was in elementary school to the 5th grade, I went to a Christian school, and we would go at Christmas time and sing at old folks' homes. Did you
That's
ever
nice.
do that?
No.
Yeah. And even then, I felt it was kind of sad because they just, you know
Yeah.
how that is. But we'd go and we'd sing them carols, and they'd just all be just like sitting in their chairs there in the the area. So that was a
Okay, I think we're caught up.
we saw a man on Netflix. There was The Man on the Inside with who is that guy that played on Cheers?
Oh God, that was such a bad show. Ted Danson.
Ted Danson.
Oh,
He
so
was like
corny.
he is an old guy in real life, but he was like an investigative private eye in a nursing home or assisted living.
Oh, it was so corny.
Yeah, I just remember that. I saw part of
When
that.
Paul
so.
gets to pick what we watch for shows, we end up watching Ted Danson in nursing home shows.
No, well,
I'm just teasing.
I know. Oh, Carrie Cox here.
Oh, thank you. Button is so cute. My favorite Christmas Carol movie is the 1935 British original version starring Seymour Hicks. It's streaming with added color on Amazon Prime.
Okay, yeah, we have Amazon Prime, so we could see that.
We could.
Christmas Carol, so yeah, we'll check that out.
We will.
We saw last night. Dave had he used to have a tradition. Always see the Peanuts Christmas
yeah,
thing.
special.
It's only 20 minutes. I remember as a kid always watching that, and that was a classic.
Yeah, we always watched it too.
Yeah.
We had certain ones we watched every year. We always watched that, Frosty and Rudolph.
Yeah, well, I remember
like
Rudolph,
the
but I remember as a
three.
kid, those little Yetis scared me.
That's what's on Button's sweater.
Yeah, the Yeti.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeti for Christmas. So, Yeah, we'll show her kind of like see if I can show her again for people who haven't seen. We get her in these sweaters. She's got this Yeti sweater on here. There she goes.
She likes wearing clothes. It's kind of cool.
It doesn't bother her. In fact, she
No.
kind of likes it because it keeps her warm outside.
Yeah.
But she doesn't itch at it or anything like that. She doesn't fuss when we put it on her.
Button's like the best dog ever, really.
She's low maintenance.
She really is.
She
Except for
doesn't-
interrupting the TV.
It was funny.
Like, it's annoying,
Sasha
but-
put out bought that from her old house. She has this big old plastic Santa, so I set it up outside. And I let Button outside to go to the restroom potty, and she just saw the thing. What? She got scared. She thought it was like a real creature, so that was kind of.
You're silly.
Silly dog, that is for sure. Let's see here. What else I had here is about what are your thoughts about this whole the whole CEO shooting? And we talked a little bit about this, I think, at the party, but
Well, I told you, I think it's either he
and
had
what they had here, and I think they're really missing something because they asked, it doesn't even make sense. These police, I don't think, are on the top of the game. Right? I really don't think that the police are like you see on TV. They're usually dumb shits.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we think there's one thing. Oh, we know his name, but we don't want to leak his name because we don't want to know him. We're looking for him. I'm like, what does that mean?
Seems like you would want.
He
people to
already,
look for
yeah,
him.
he already knows you're looking for him, right?
Yeah.
You know, and so, but they found his backpack and he had it full of Monopoly money. I think that was kind of. What do you think that meant? It was making
Maybe
fun of
just-
the healthcare system and all
maybe
the fake
so.
money.
I think he either had a family member that got sick and they denied their claims, or maybe he's sick. Like maybe it's like the Saw movies or something, where the guy's dying of cancer because
Oh, yeah, he could be dying and he doesn't care, so he was
Yeah.
denied coverage. And here's some of the timeline of the shooting. This is if it is him. He was at a hostel and he took his mask off. And then he was here in the cab afterwards. He always kept his mask on. The gunman used a fake ID. That's smart. And paid cash during the 10 days he was in the city.
Smart.
Yeah, he kept his face covered except while checking in at a hostel. And this was, so he arrived let's see, where's number
He used a
one?
bicycle.
He stayed at the New York City hostel. Then he, gunman shoots Thompson. Then he got the bicycle. That's a good getaway car.
Was-
Then I think in his backpack, he probably had to change the clothes, which is also smart. And then he probably threw away the gun in the river or something. Usually, if you don't catch someone, in fact, there was a show called, I think, The First 48 Hours. You won't catch them.
Yeah, well, they still haven't found Mama JF. That's been over a year.
Yeah, I know. The hardest killings to solve are ones where they don't know the suspect. Most murders,
It's a
they're
spouse or
it's
something.
obvious because
Yeah.
it's not a whodunit, you know. But the ones that are whodunits, they really don't solve as many as you think.
Unless somebody confesses.
Well, you remember we saw that show on Netflix about the Ramsey. They never solved that murder.
No.
So yeah. So I don't know. I the longer this goes, the more chance I think he has to
He
get
might
away.
already be out of the country.
If he
He's
sounds
had
pretty
time.
smart,
Yeah.
I mean, he planned this out. It wasn't. He had because a lot of these guys they never have an escape plan. They end up shooting someone. They don't know what to
Well,
do.
you know, he thought about it for a while because he wrote
I'll
on the
put her down.
bullets
She
and
wants to go
everything
down. I
else.
think
All right.
she's getting hot. All right, let's go down. There you go.
You have
Where's she
another
later?
super chat. You want me to
Oh
read it?
yeah, sure.
Billy Kurilko? Thank you. Have you guys seen the series Baby Reindeer? Not exactly a recommendation. Good, but hard to watch. Sticks with you, well made, and maybe bordering on red-pilled as a dive into degenerate trauma. I watched about 4 episodes.
What's it called?
Baby Reindeer, and it's about this like fat woman that's kind of stalking this guy. But then it gets kind of weird. Like he gets addicted to drugs, I think. I didn't watch all of it. I watched a few episodes, but the
It just
woman
didn't
was
hook
creepy, and it
you
was
in?
based on a. No, I was doing other things while I was watching it, and the first few episodes were pretty good, and then I just got kind of distracted, and I hadn't really gone back to it. I may go back to it and rewatch a couple of the episodes and finish it. Because I don't think it's, I don't know how many seasons, but it's based on a real thing.
Really?
Like, and I guess that somebody recognized the woman.
Mm-hmm.
She was at some club or something. They kind of doxed her, and she was suing Netflix. Megyn Kelly did like a whole thing about it about, I don't know, 8 months ago or something, where she talked about it. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Sometimes those true crime episodes are pretty good on Netflix and stuff. Those are popular.
I like true crime.
Yeah.
I think most women like true crime.
They
I've
do.
never met a woman that didn't like true crime.
And
even most guys do too, if
Yeah.
you sit down and talk to them. But it does seem like women kind of dominate true crime.
because you can do your own theories, who did it, and
Yeah,
stuff
it's
like
kind of
that.
fun. It's like why people like Agatha Christie books.
If you're going to commit a murder, you got to do certain things. And maybe this guy that shot the CEO did it. You don't want to brag about it. You don't want to make threats beforehand. So they could tie it to you. You know, obviously you don't want someone to kill you, then you do it.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to brag about it afterwards.
No.
Because a lot of killers, they do that.
They do. Well, that's how the Manson
Yeah.
Stuff. Susan Atkins was in jail for something else and was bragging about it, and the people in jail with her ended up telling a guard or whoever.
And if you should be caught by the police, we're giving these things to people watching killers. But even if you're not a killer, you should never talk to the police without your lawyer.
No.
Because they could, get you on stuff. It's amazing how many people they went and have solved a murder, but they get the person in and they just start badgering them, and they eventually confess because they get tired or confused.
Right.
So, but if you're not connected to the killer, you can usually get away with it. Or at least about 50%, I think you can. So it'd be interesting if this guy gets away. He's kind of like
I bet he's already gotten away.
the only thing equivalent, but it wasn't a murder. But in the 70s, they had a plane hijacking at DB Cooper. Remember that? And he hijacked out of the plane. He robbed a bank, and or they gave him the money out in Oregon, and they never found him. He got away with it.
Wow.
They thought he died, but there's good evidence he didn't die. He actually got out of the country. So there's.
I bet this guy's out of the country.
Yeah.
I bet he is. I bet he might have went to the airport and got on a plane right
Well,
after.
he seems like, and that the gun he used was one that's 22, which isn't a big caliber, but it is easy for a silencer. And you just have to manually revolve it. And so it's not one of those big fancy like 48 Magnum or anything like that. But this is a gun a lot of assassins use, they said, because it's small and it doesn't make a lot of noise. And if you saw how he did it, he had like no hesitation. He just ignored the bystander, just went right up, and shot the guy. So he had this planned out for a long time. So if you put all this effort into it and change the clothes and the mask, I would think he's already planning an escape after he gets out of New York.
Yeah.
You just could walk up into Canada and then take a plane somewhere, and he could be out of the country by now.
Or Mexico.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that definitely could be the thing there. What else do you want to talk about, Sasha?
Whatever you want.
That's what I had, so I'm gonna just kind of rely on you. Is there any other gossipy things?
Did we finish going through that list?
Yeah, that's
We
all I
never
had.
finished that.
Oh, did we not?
No, that list of 80s toys. I thought there
Okay.
was more.
Let's take a look. That's a good point. I thought maybe we got stuck there.
off on, you looked up some of the toys.
Yeah, okay. Let me just do that. That's a
Maybe
good point.
maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know. I didn't know we were totally done.
There's the 30 toys in the 80s. Let's see here. Speak and Spell.
Yeah, when we went through those.
Foosball and the Glowworm, Pound Puppies, Fashion Place, Moon Shows, Polly Pocket.
Masters of the Universe. Keep going.
Oh, that was He-Man. I never got into it, but I know you and Brandon did, and you have
Everybody our age
you work with
liked
a
it.
guy that's really into that sort of thing
Yeah,
too.
I know a lot of people. I did a video on my
Mm-hmm.
YouTube channel like 15 years ago of my He-Man collection, and
Yeah.
man, every guy in like YouTube like, oh,
Really?
it's like part of a community or whatever if you like He-Man. And if there's girls that like it too, but it is mostly guys because we had She-Ra.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, I did like She-Ra more than He-Man, but they don't make the She-Ra stuff the way they
Mm-hmm.
do. They make more He-Man stuff. But yeah, when you were a kid in the 80s, everyone watched He-Man and She-Ra.
I was already too old for that.
Oh, see, we didn't do all these because we didn't do Monchichi.
What's Monchichi?
Monchichi. You know what Monchichi? I have a whole bunch of them.
Oh, they're that monkey thing?
Yeah, with where they suck their thumb. I have like a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I would go to Epcot or when we go to Las Vegas, I get one because they sell them at the Fashion Show Mall. At that one Japanese store that has all the Japanese toys, and then they always had them at Epcot. I have one that looks like Michael Jackson. He's really cute.
The piano dance band. Oh, that was from that movie Big, right?
Yeah, I
So
remember those.
yeah,
That'd be fun. I do remember Little People. Family House, I remember that. I had Little People.
Was all of those are Fisher Price those things?
Yeah.
I had those as a kid. They were even in the 70s.
Yeah, they've been around forever.
Yeah.
I always liked Fisher Price. Mad Balls, yes, I have some Mad Balls. I have a Freddy Krueger Mad Ball because they made those about 5 or 6 years ago.
Are those like the Super Balls where they bounce really well?
No, look it up and show it.
All right.
They look cool. They're kind of gross. They're like gross 80s. 80s were all about gross.
Oh, okay. Like this is a Mad Ball?
Yes.
All right. So I'll just do this here. Show people that are in the audience. Wait a minute. Gotta shut that one thing down here.
Yeah, no tired today. Oh, this is the first time I've sat down. Well, other than being in the movies, but it was a busy day.
Yeah, let me close some of these tabs so I can see that. For some reason I couldn't see this tab, so let me just present, share.
You need somebody to do that for you so you don't have to do it anymore.
Yeah, it'd be nice
That'd
to
be
have a
nice.
producer. You know, like that who's that Alex Stein? He has all those producers. What a fraud. Yeah. Oh, that's the Mad Ball here.
Yeah. That's not the best looking Mad Ball. They have neater ones than that. But that's an idea of what they are.
Right.
They still made those a few years ago too.
Teddy Ruxpin.
Oh, I know Teddy Ruxpin.
Cabbage pastels.
Oh,
Those were a
yeah.
huge thing. I remember back in the day for Christmas, it was like almost impossible to get one because it was like the big.
People almost got in a riot at a supermarket trying to get cabbage. We couldn't get them in Rockford. They were gone. And they had some at a flea market, and that's where we ended up getting them.
Simon.
I had a Simon, but it stopped working.
Game Boy.
I remember Game Boy. I never had one, but I always wanted one.
You got it like an equivalent of the Game Boy just
I have
now.
something better than a Game
Switch,
Boy.
right?
Yeah.
That's like a Smurfs.
Yeah, of course. I love the Smurfs.
Michael D, that guy in our round table, he's in Belgium, and that's where they made the Smurfs.
Well,
right?
there's another guy that watches you that sent us a bunch of Smurfs,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Friendly Bee, and I'm gonna make a shadow box with the Smurfs, like a TV type shadow box out of an old TV. I think it'd be really cool. I'm gonna get fake grass and try to make it look like a Smurf village inside a TV.
Power Wheels, is that like
I remember those. That bit, it's the big wheel, or no, I'm thinking a big wheel. Yeah, I think I know what Power Wheels are. Aren't they just kind of like remote control?
Let me look that
dump
up.
trucks and stuff.
Let me look that up. Oh yeah, they're just.
No, I remember those.
Yeah.
They had a DeLorean. They used to sell those at Toys R Us.
Yeah, let me just see here.
And I remember I always wanted the DeLorean, but I was kind of too big for it.
All right, we'll
So they still sell those.
Yeah, they're neat for kids, I guess, right?
Yeah. That'd be like the ultimate dream toy if you were a kid.
Power Wheels Jeep Wrangler. They're pretty expensive, $350.
Yeah.
But you can
none
drive.
of my
Are they
friends had
electric or
one.
something? You actually can drive them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I remember when I was a kid, you met my cousin. He stayed with us when he was real little. They had one at Toys R Us and they had the hood up on it.
Yeah.
And he started tinkering with it. My aunt was like, "Get out from under there." And he said, "I'm fixing it." He's like, "No." Like, yeah, they were big. Nobody I knew had one when I was a kid because they're probably too expensive. You'd have to be a rich kid to get a big wheel.
Yeah.
Or not a big wheel, Power Wheel.
Yeah, big wheels, I remember. They came out in like the late 70s.
With the big wheel.
Yeah.
It was basically like a tricycle.
Yeah, but more hipper.
Yeah. Did you have one?
Mm-mm. I was already
Too old.
graduated to a bicycle by that age.
Okay.
I had a tricycle, and then right after I got older, when I was still a kid, that's when big wheels came out, but I could ride a bike.
Do
at that
kids
point.
ride bikes anymore? Because that was a staple of being a kid in the 80s. Everybody rode bikes.
You know,
It
I've
was
never.
just like E.T., like all
you
my
know,
friends rode bikes. Like you get
Now you
together
see all
and-
these guys, they act like they're in the Tour de France, and they're just
You
trying
do.
to.
But that's not what I mean. You're like,
No,
they're
you don't
adults.
see. No, you
I'm
don't
talking
see
about
kids.
kids.
No, and I don't see kids in big wheels anymore or anything, or tricycles. They're just all on their electronics, I guess. So.
I want to get a bike, but it's like around here, there's too many hills.
Well, it'd be
and I'm
good to
out
go
of
down the
shape.
hill, but
That'd
yeah.
be fun, but then you'd have to walk it up the hill.
Yeah, that's the disadvantage, yeah. Because we live on a mountain here. and so it's easy to
I
get
loved
down.
riding. Didn't you love riding bikes when you were a kid? I
Oh, I
loved
used
my
to. I
bike
used to.
so
My
much.
grandparents lived in Longmont, Colorado, when I was 12 years old. Over the summer, I stayed with them, and I would just have my bike and go all around town.
Me too.
Longmont was a lot smaller back then than now, and now it's a big like high
It was
tech
so
center.
much fun, like
Yeah,
just riding around Rockford on a
yeah.
bike.
Longmont was pretty flat too, so I could just get around.
See,
Yeah,
all this is making me want to get a bike. Brandon's like, you can get a bike with a motor in it. And I'm like, that's not a bike. I mean, I'm talking like I want pedals and I don't want handbrakes. I want foot brakes because that's what I had when I was a kid and that's what I'm used to. But most of them have handbrakes now.
yeah. When I was like 12, and also when in Colorado, Mark Hoffman, I remember his name. We would take our bikes and would take our fishing gear. It was almost like Tom Sawyer went to the creek and fish, and it was a lot of fun. Usually get a flat tire, have to change it. So yeah, you don't see that. Kids today aren't as active with. Well, you saw that one lady. She was arrested because her kid, he was 10 years old, walked to the store that was less than a mile away.
I know, that's insane.
And when I was young, we would just go everywhere.
Sure,
And
kids babysat when they were 11 when
yeah,
I was a kid. And the Babysitters Club was a book series back in the 80s and 90s. And like they had junior officers.
hmm
And that's what they were 11, but they
yeah,
couldn't. They'd have to sit with at least a
right,
13-year-old, but 13-year-olds were babysitting, 11-year-olds babysitting.
right.
I would stay home by myself when I was like 10, maybe younger. I don't remember when it started, but
Yeah, they're really overprotective of
well,
kids
they
now.
treat people in their 20s like little kids
Oh,
now.
they do. I
It's
know.
embarrassing.
It really is. And that is the thing.
So we can finish that list.
That was it. The last one was
Oh,
Star
it
Wars
was?
toys. Yeah,
Oh,
Star
that
Wars
sucks.
figurines. And when we Sasha likes to go to toy stores and toy shows, and Star Wars toys always seem to be some of the most popular
They
stuff.
are.
Vintage. People love Star Wars. The
Well,
old.
and they're still popular because they still make Star Wars stuff, so younger people grew up with it
Well, I got
too.
like Darth Vader right here.
Right. So Star Wars spans like how many generations? It
Yeah.
started with like you and then moved on. I mean, even when I was in high school, they re-released the movies
Well,
in the
our friend
theaters.
that had the Christmas party, he was in when he was young. He was in the Star Wars
So
stuff.
was Brandon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
so
was Mosca. Like
it's amazing how
everybody.
Disney was able to take that franchise and just destroy it.
Well, and it was funny because when they bought it, everyone's thinking, "Oh, Disney can fix it because George Lucas made such a mess out of it."
Yeah.
And then it was like, "No, actually,
They
they
ruined
made it
it.
worse."
They did it.
But I think if Disney, before it went all woke and insane, I think if they'd had it back in the 80s or 90s, they
Mhm.
could have probably made it cool. But since they had it like after they already were like woke, they
Well,
just
the
ruined
first
it.
movie they came out with was they were trying to make woke with that Ray, and
Oh, and that was so freaking
oh, it was
boring.
an exact remake of the first one. I mean,
Right, they just switched the character.
yeah, they just blacked
Yeah,
it or whatever,
made it
and
a
it's like
girl.
there's no creativity. And the thing is, in that whole genre, there's so much good fan fiction and books people wrote about that universe. They could have made it really interesting and gone a whole new different way.
Hmm.
And but it's just yeah, they destroyed it with all the woke and all that
They
bullshit.
did. And you know, there was a time Disney made like the best stuff.
Mhm.
And you could always count on like, oh, if I go to Disney movie, it'd be really good. And then not anymore.
Yeah,
They just ruined their whole brand. And then they ruined Star Wars.
right. And some games have done that. That one game really bombed where they gave you a lecture about being some monster was lectured you about his pronouns.
Oh, yeah. So cringe.
I know I'm they, and that's just
Who
I
wants
know.
to even play that shit? I guess I'm lucky because I play games like Mario. And so I don't play the type of games you play online like World of Warcraft and stuff because those are the games they make all woke. Because it's like the Mario game I'm playing. It's just
You know what
get
they
cute
did?
costumes and you go around and you like
I don't.
find fairies and free them.
It's free, so I don't pay a monthly fee or anything with it. But every once in a while, because I like to do the Star Wars, the Old Republic,
Yeah.
and mostly I like to play when they have like dogfighting with other players. It's kind of fun. But beforehand, they have a story. But it's an old game that came out in 2015. It's a good game. I'd recommend it.
What's it called?
Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Oh yeah, I know what that game is.
But what they did recently is they upgraded the graphics and they like reduced the cleavage on the women and they covered them up more and stuff like seriously they did. So it was so funny because back before I don't know when it was, but everything was very sexual and they would put it in, but now it's all they put in all these homosexual characters, but they don't allow any, like heterosexuality. It's kind of funny.
That's funny.
I never really cared because they're all just fantasy. Who you care? What do you care? But they would, yeah, that was I thought kind of funny.
God,
So
so you mentioned the Switch, and I saw it in the other room, and my hands start itching to want to get it. But then
yeah,
I'm like, no, because
you had really fun. What
addicted
game
to
were
it.
you playing that you really enjoyed on the Switch?
Super Mario in 3D.
Yeah.
My plan is to play that, beat it, and then start
Mhm.
playing Hogwarts and beat that, and then play Zelda, beat that, and just till I beat them all. And I'm gonna go back to playing Stray. Seeing that movie Flow
Mhm.
made me think of that game Stray, and I thought I should finish that too. That's my thing with games. I'll get almost to the end, and then I just stop playing them.
Yeah.
Like I need to just try to beat them. And Mario's always cool when you beat it. It always has a neat ending.
Mhm.
I always thought anyway. All the Mario endings are pretty memorable.
Yeah.
But now you could just cheat and go on YouTube and watch the ending. But I think that's cheating. I'd rather try to beat through it.
Yeah. I think that's a nice thing about YouTube though, and the modern internet. I know it's a double-edged sword, but you can always figure out if you get stuck.
Oh yeah, that's nice though.
Yeah.
Well, we used to have books though.
But you
To
have
be
to buy
fair,
strategy books.
I
Yeah.
even found one at my dad's house that I
Mhm.
had like how to beat certain games, and it had Castlevania 2 in it.
Yeah.
I love the Castlevania games. I'm surprised they haven't made a new one of those in a while. Maybe they have. Maybe I just don't know. I should go to like a game store and look through all the games.
Yeah, I enjoy a lot of games.
Me too.
So
They're addictive though. I get like hooked on them and don't want to do anything else.
they can be if they're a
Like
good
they really
game.
are. Those Katamari games are so freaking addictive. And Kingdom Hearts. I had Christmas break when I worked at the university, and I
Mhm.
remember the whole break I just played Kingdom Hearts 2. I just sat. It was kind of like this is your vacation, and it was nice.
What was
too.
your all-time favorite computer game or video
Computer?
games?
Oh, video. I don't.
Or
It's
computer?
it's so hard. Computer game will probably be Plants vs Zombies. That's a fun game. I
I
like typing with the dead too.
I liked Might and Magic. That was a lot of fun. I
Never
liked
played it.
Master of Orion. That was a lot of fun where you
Never
have like
played
a
it.
space empire. My first online game I ever played was Blast. It was called Asheron's Call. It was kind of like World of Warcraft, but
Oh,
it's
and
before World of Warcraft.
I think I remember you playing that or talking about it or something.
Talked about because when I met you, it was already done.
Yeah.
It's no longer out there. Then I played World of Warcraft briefly, and I enjoyed it, and they kind of ruined it with the woke stuff. The guy that actually they ended up having all the original guys that did that were like white males primarily. They were
Yeah.
Asian, and now it's all these women, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They have one guy that wears a dress that is a game.
Well, it's kind of funny that like women have to go in these spaces like that and try to like fuck shit up.
There's for
It's
some
just like-
reason in the game development area they have a lot of I won't use a slur, transgender women that I don't know why there's a lot of guys that are into that
It's gross.
try to think. There's a theory that do you think anime turned these? Because I never got into anime. That made men want to be women, or was it these
Brandon
games?
likes anime, and I don't think he's like that.
Yeah, I don't know. There's all these.
I don't know. People are weird.
They definitely are. But I also love that game. I'm just trying to think of all the games that I really enjoyed. But
Oh, Zoo Tycoon. That's a fun game on the computer. No, we're just talking on the computer.
yeah,
Never-
Star Wars: The Old Republic. I still have up. I play every once in a while. Again, it's free. And if you're looking guys for a free game, you don't even have to. You can play the initial game free, and there's just some restrictions if you don't, subscribe. I did subscribe for a while, but I don't now. But yeah, I like games. I like role playing games. I like like kill monster type games sometimes. Story.
I like scroll games like Mario, Castlevania, like the Zelda games.
I'm pretty good at that now. The Star Wars
Tetris.
Old Republic, they have like a dogfighting game, and it's a hard game. When I first started to
Dogfighting.
play, where with spaceships, you fight each other.
Uh-huh.
It's like kind of dogfighting. And when I first started to play it, I was like horrible, always the worst. Now when I play, I'm usually near the top.
That's cool.
So when you play enough, you can get pretty good at my age. I can finish top on the leaderboard.
Now, when we go to the arcade, I always play Dr. Mario. That's
Yeah.
like my go-to game. I like Road Rash. That's fun.
Mhm.
And what are some other games I played? I like Toe Jam and Earl. I like so many games. I played so many games as a kid.
Oh, we
I
had
like the Ninja Turtles game, Bart versus the Space Mutants, the Rescue Rangers. All those old Disney games were fun. The Little Mermaid was fun.
Kissy has a super chat.
Oh, Sorry. Thank you. Any updates on Sasha's dad's estate?
Oh, we had like a kind of a funny update. I don't know, funny or
No,
creepy.
it's not good.
We went in there. Her dad's house has just been vacant pretty much for a while, and it's Sasha's like, oh my God, what's that on the floor? And I'm like, oh, that's a snake skin. So there's like a snake somewhere in the house that shed its skin.
And I'm terrified of snakes.
Yeah, me too, because he's had copperheads. There's a lot of copperheads around there. So it's a house that's, no one's living in it. So somehow I think a snake got inside the house. So we didn't see it, but it's,
well, they said, I read online, they said it could have left too. If it didn't, it might have been looking for something to eat. I don't know. I'm going to get some snake repellent and hope that like gets it out of there.
Yeah, I probably want to wear snake boots.
Yeah. It's going, I mean, I've got a lot of stuff washed and cleaned up there. I've washed, God, I don't know, 30 bags of clothes and blankets. I took a big like bunch of blankets to the animal shelter. And then I'm going to take more to another shelter.
The house was built over 100 years ago. It is so out of code, like you wouldn't believe. Like the stairs that go up to the top level, my God, they're first of all, they're not code. They're steep, and upstairs, I mean, if you should, you just fall off and kill yourself. I mean, it's just like you would.
Paul's like, it freaks you out being there. Huh?
It's the most creepy house. If you ever want to do like a haunted mansion, this be a perfect.
Maybe
haunted
I could
mansion.
like get it in.
No, seriously.
And do some kind of thing where
it's like an old
we can make it a haunted house.
Right, it's built in like I think the 1800s, like an old Victorian mansion. I mean, it's 2 stories, but boy, it's creepy. It's old and it's nothing.
I get scared going in there by myself.
I couldn't imagine.
In there.
To see if someone could spend the night in there.
I keep hearing stuff. My cousin said she used to have nightmares about it. The cousin that you know.
It's the most
like it's a creepy ass house.
It's the scariest house I've ever seen.
And my dad lived in there alone by himself. Like and it was in that bad shape, and I'm like, well, how did he do it?
I feel bad for him. I would have taken him out of there because it was like it's like a house from your nightmares, and it's in a rural area. It's an old house. It's wood. It's kind of like in a rural area.
If it's windy outside, you hear creaking.
It creaks.
Yeah.
It's just in like the stairs.
I picked up a dead mouse. Oh, so gross! It was stuck to something. I was like screamed.
Yeah,
it's like there was a frog hopping around in there. Like it really is frightening. But I've got a lot of stuff. I mean, I think we've cleaned a lot of it up. Still a long way to go. I need to just go there for a few days, and I could get it knocked out. I'm trying to wash all the clothes and blankets out of there.
Visit all the acres you got. We haven't even visited that. A lot of woods, I think, because we went. I won't say the town we went to, but the MapQuest sent us down this because we had to pick up something from another guy, a toy she bought, and then it sent us down this dirt road to this town near where Sasha's dad lived, and it was like it was going through Deliverance.
I told Paul this is why he's not a Southerner.
You can't imagine. I mean, I live in a rural area. This was like just off the grid.
No, Paul likes to pretend he's a Southerner, and he's like one of us. It's funny because Mosk is like, he really wants to be one of us, doesn't he? And it's like, he's not, because he was so bothered by having to drive on a dirt road for 4 miles. And I thought, we were used to this. When I was in high school, we would drive on dirt roads for fun. And Paul was just like, I would have gone the highway, even though the highway was like miles out of the way.
Yeah, we took the shortcut.
Because we had to go, because I bought something from a guy on eBay, and he had a pickup, and it was kind of on the way to my dad's. So we went there, picked this thing up, and then we were going from there. And the way the guy lived, it would have taken, I don't know, it would have probably been 5 miles out from getting back on the highway. This way was kind of more direct.
We had to go slow, though, because
right, we did, but it's like it saved you mileage. But it was pretty. It was a pretty drive.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Like
it was
you
really,
were just like
it was,
really bothered by having to drive on gravel.
Maybe your properties out there is really dense wood, because your dad used to just he didn't have indoor heating or anything, just had a stove, and he always had wood on his property. So I know you own tons of trees, I'm sure.
Yeah.
A forest of trees. So I'd like to check that out. People hunt on it, but boy, it was really backwoods type situation. Then we saw that one like shack back in there. That was really weird. It looked like something out of you see in a horror movie or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Yeah, so that's how the state's going. It's going
Somebody
pretty
said
good.
you like to pretend you're not a boomer too.
But I'm not. I mean, because the
Okay,
boomers,
Paul.
they were the hippies.
65 to 81.
No, I disagree with that because
It's Gen X.
the boomers, they had to get drafted by Vietnam. I was too young.
Yeah, I know. You're in that little time gap where you didn't really have a generation. Like for real, they had
Like when I went to college, and we weren't the boomer generation with
Right.
peace, love, and tie dyes. It wasn't that at all. It was the '80s, so it's different. So
It's hard to believe the 80s were so long ago. Me and Brandon were talking about how much everything sucks now and how great the 80s were. Like maybe it's because we were kids in the 80s, but I truly think things were better back then.
oh, we got one from Steve Campbell.
The music and movies were better for sure. Oh, thank you. Love me some Night Owls. Simple as. Thank you. As the meme goes, LOL, y'all have a good chemistry. Reminds me so much of when I chat with my lady who is pretty based. I'd be fun for us to travel out to Arkansas some. It's only 5 hours away. LOL.
Yeah, it'd be
That's
fun to
not
see
that
you.
far. 5
Yeah,
hours.
Sasha and I is kind of fun. That we really talk like this just in person too.
Yeah.
We talk a lot about stuff, and we have little different interests in some things.
We do. We have a lot of different interests, really.
You're more into Sasha's more into like movies and celebrity stuff, and
Girl stuff.
yeah, she goes into girl stuff. She'll talk about, oh, did you know who this actress used to date in the '80s? I'm like, I don't know, and I don't really, it's just not even.
That's
on my
why I
radar.
like Mosca.
Well,
We
he's a
can
gay
gossip
guy, I know.
about like
Oh my God, you know who Tommy Lee dated back then? I'm like, I don't even know who Tommy Lee is. I do now because he told me, but I don't care who he dated or he had sex with. I just have to, you know what I mean? It's just not on my radar. But to be fair, that's why I really hate this one guy going, but I have Brandon. But this one guy, we would talk space and
oh
science,
god, it was so boring.
And
Everybody
Sasha, she
thought it was
just
boring.
tunes out.
We had
And we're
another-
talking about like dark matter and all these theories. And Sasha and Mosca, the ex-gay guy, they would go in to look at the dolls. And so I'm going to miss having that guy. So we are different. We could talk politics and we talk a lot of stuff together, but yeah, sometimes it's a little bit. And you're not into war stuff either.
It was funny though. There was another girl over here one time, and like she started talking about astrology and shit. Like she got mad at you guys, and then Mosca got mad at you guys one time. Like I was in the room, I'd tuned out a long time ago because for a while it seemed like when we'd have parties, it was all like Paul's nerd friends, and then like they'd all talk about science, and it wasn't very like. It's not the type of stuff that like most people I'm friends with really want to talk about, except maybe Brandon. He kind of likes it, and so the rest.
Brandon does. He gets
Yeah,
into it,
and so
yeah.
I would be working, so I'm like, okay, this is boring. I'm just gonna go work in the bedroom because I'm moving in and everything, and then eventually everyone that wasn't like Paul and the nerds would go in the room with like Mosca or this other girl. Anybody female or Mosca would come in the other room and be mad at you. At
Well,
some
this
point.
is why we used to have, and I think it's important, I think we should still have this,
Men's
male
spaces.
and female spaces where guys get together and talk about the shit
Well,
like
the
that.
problem is I'd rather be in male spaces though, because it's like women tend to irritate me a lot of time. Not always. But no, my problem with women.
We won't get into it, but some women can be so catty.
Well, the problem with women though is like you'll be close friends with them and then they disappear. That just happens all the time where I don't hear from people. And they always say that on shows, like a guy will get a girlfriend and they disappear. Women do the same thing. The minute they get a boyfriend, they're gone. Or get married, you just don't even see them again. And I've had that happen so many times. Like I have a friend now, and the last couple times I texted her, she just totally blew me off.
Well,
and I'm like, did I piss her off? Because you don't know nowadays if you make somebody mad, like you just don't know.
Another thing is difference between guys and girls is girls get catty about how you dress. Guys never do.
Yeah.
Like I would never say, "Oh my God, Brandon, did you see what Mosca was wearing the other day?" Oh God, we would never do that, but girls do that.
Well, you were talking about drama, and you probably wanted me to tell you this. I guess Kumia's girlfriend kind of made fun of me on X. And
That's
I thought
what
it
I
was
was-
rude.
that's
I
what I
found
was
it on
thinking about.
accident,
But it's really
because I
weird
was so
because
nice, and she was
I
nice, and I just thought how
Kumi is really
two-faced.
cool. I enjoyed talking to him, and then his girlfriend seemed really nice. You guys were talking, but then she got yeah.
And she said, because people were mad at Paul for something he tweeted, and underneath somebody said something, and she said, you should see his wife. She wore Hello Kitty and a bucket hat to something conference. And it's like, no, bitch, I didn't wear Hello Kitty. I wore a Kiki's Delivery Service dress, but it's like, who cares?
Well, she's
My
probably
dress was more memorable than hers.
she's probably from the New York City scene.
It was just real snobby. Like I
I
didn't say
know.
I was nice,
I
nice.
thought your
And I'm
dress
just
was
like, what the
cute,
hell?
It's just, but I guess it wasn't sophisticated enough for
Guess
the
not.
Manhattan crowd or
Yeah.
whatever. So, whatever.
I just thought it was shitty. I
we're
wouldn't do
from
that to people.
we're from Arkansas, so we don't really care. So, but yeah,
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't understand that type of I don't know, just two-faced.
yeah, I don't know. But guys don't really criticize each other for stuff like that, really.
No,
So
not straight guys anyway.
no, yeah,
Gay
gay guys
guys
probably
might.
do, yeah. So that is a thing here too. All right, let's just see if we all caught up on everything here. Yeah, we have a.
See, now I don't want to end because that means I have to go back to work. This
Oh.
is kind of my break because I'm moving and I'm trying to get everything. I have to be out of my apartment by February 1st, and I still have a lot of stuff to move in. And so I'm like, I don't want to be like the week before I have to be out because I got to clean the apartment too, and it's pretty dirty because I've let it go because I've been doing other things. And I'm like, I just want to try to move a big bulk of it this month and be, where I can just focus on cleaning it and be out of there and ready to move in. But
Well, we're hopefully
it's
supposed
a
to get
lot.
probably a little bit nicer weather. It's
When I
been
still have to put
unusually
flooring-
cold here for the last couple of weeks. It's actually a shame. We almost didn't have. It was a weird year. We almost didn't have a fall. It went even our fall was pretty warm, unusually warm, and then bam, it just got really cold.
Yeah,
And so
I'm kind of annoyed by it because I need to get stuff done, but I have to put flooring in the shed, and I'm almost done. We've put how many boxes down? Like 5
I don't
boxes
know.
of tile down, and I think this is box number 6, and I've got to cut some tile. And so I was going to try to do that tonight, but it ended up raining and it's cold and there's no electricity, so we have to run a light out there and you can't see, and so it's just a lot. And then we're having a Christmas party Saturday, so I have to figure out what to get and unpacking everything and packing everything and
well, this guy did a kind of a weird thing. I don't know if we want to read it. It's kind of gross.
Oh, you should read it.
About the Darth Vader thing.
Yeah, who cares?
Your boomer booty, the lace. Yeah, I should show my. This is actually fabric, right?
I bought it on clearance. It was $9, and I thought it was cool for $9.
How do you get him to speak?
His eyes light up.
Impressive. Most impressive.
Think he talks.
So is Darth Vader your favorite character then?
I like him. I always like the villains in movies.
I like villains too.
Yeah, they had a style. I like the Empire. Man. Now he's talking.
Talking on his own.
Don't know the power of the dark
I
side.
like that his sword lights. It'd be cool if his arm lifted up, but it doesn't. I had a bank in high school that was kind of like him, but if you hit the button or you put coins in, it would talk, but it lifted its lightsaber up.
Really?
Yeah, I don't have it anymore. Oh, see, he won't shut up now.
No,
Shut
now
up.
he just keeps talking. So yeah,
I like Yoda the best probably out of the Star Wars characters.
not Jar Jar Binks. Everyone hated him, but that was.
I don't hate him, but it's just his voice. The way he looked was fine. His voice was I like Chewbacca too.
I like Slave Girl, Princess Leia when I was a boy.
Of course
every guy
guys
did.
did.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was fun. And Han Solo was a good character too, though.
Oh, that's cool. Somebody in the chat said they have a Princess Mononoke dress. We went to see that. God, when was that? This summer? I was thinking it's kind of sad. This was the last Studio Ghibli movie me and Brandon will be going to see.
What? I don't see anything wrong with just having a fun dress, but I don't know.
Well, they make them for adults. I guess when you get to be a certain age, you're just supposed to be boring. That's what I told Brandon. I said they make all the cute stuff for younger women, and when you get older, it's like, oh, just wear these ugly clothes, and it's like, why?
You
Why
know
do you
what?
have to start
I
wearing
wish they
ugly shit
did.
when
I
you get
wish they
older?
did for adults. I would have done this. Remember, it didn't exist, but they had. What's it called? Garanimals. You could match
Oh,
what to wear. Like a lion with a lion. I'm gonna have to figure that out. I wish they had that for animals for adults. I would get that because then I could just buy that. Then I could just match what everything. So I don't have to.
Why
worry
don't
about-
you just do like in The Fly? Remember, he had all his suits were exactly the same. Because she's like, "Don't you ever change clothes?" He said that's
Well,
what Einstein did.
Yeah, see, as a guy, it was easy because when I was in the corporate world, I had to wear a suit for
So
years.
just
And you just had like 3 or 4 suits that you would rotate every day. And then you'd have your shirt and you just rotate the tie. But it's basically the same shit.
yeah,
Whereas women, they had different fashions. When I started in the 80s, women had those fake shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And they had their fake suits. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they had that big bow tie in the
Yeah.
middle. That was so funny. And then they kind of evolved. Because when I started with EDS, the dress code is, as a man, you had to wear a suit coat and tie. And women, they couldn't wear pants. They had to wear a skirt. That was now they can't do that because of all the feminism
sexism
stuff.
or whatever.
Well, now a lot of guys think they're girls, so you can. But yeah,
Oh.
well, now all the tech world, everyone, they do T-shirt and all. They dress like Elon Musk. You just have a T-shirt and stuff. But I had to wear a suit all the time. It's kind of nice though because it's like your uniform. I didn't really mind it that much.
Yeah,
So,
I've never worked anywhere where I get to wear a nice outfit.
but
I've
when
only
you go
worked
out,
places
like
where you wear
when you went to Ameren, you're pretty with your dresses. I thought that was nice, yeah. So, even though it was, I didn't even know what it was. I didn't care. So I
Yeah.
didn't. What was it? Kiki's Delivery Service?
Yeah, I just had the cats from Kiki. And
Oh,
Kiki.
okay.
The movie we saw today, it's like one of those movies.
So that's, I guess, not professional. Wear cats to
I guess not.
at
Who doesn't like cats?
yeah. You're supposed to wear just like a black skirt or something. I
How
guess.
boring is that?
Yeah, I know, but I guess that's what you're supposed to do.
I guess if you're boring.
So, yeah, I don't really care about stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
we were talking about the round table, and even speaking of which, because I'm not really a boomer, in high school, it changed for it. We were in an era where a lot of kids dressed preppy. Remember that? The
Yeah.
Izod and
Not when I was in school,
That was
really,
before
but I
you,
do
but yeah.
remember in the 80s, preppy was.
it was that was the thing. So that came after those like hippies and
Well, I guess people did, and like we did have girls that dressed kind of preppy though, in like
Mhm.
the 80s when I was a kid. But I was just always kind of like, I don't know, jeans and t-shirt or whatever.
yeah, like that's like was the standard dress too. So yeah, that was a good thing. Let's see here. All right. I just want to make sure we got everything here. Did you want to talk about anything else or just wrap up?
I can't think of anything else.
Yeah, we should probably wrap up. It was fun. We always get a lot of good audience for night owls. I think people like night owls
Yeah.
because it's just a low key. We just talk.
We might get more if we had it on the same time every week, but we keep changing it up.
Well, probably once session moves in, we'll get on a regular schedule.
Well, we'll probably have to do it on Sunday, or we'll have to stay up late on Friday.
Yeah, because it's about a
40-minute drive. The only other way we could do it, but you don't have reception, is I could get like a dash cam and we could do it. That'd be kind of cool, but
yeah.
it wouldn't work because you don't get service out here. You know what I mean? Where I could try to do it with my phone.
Yeah. I don't know. Do we want people to figure where we live too?
Well, it'd be dark.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't
Yeah.
think they'd be able to tell.
That'd be yeah, maybe. So
Well, it wouldn't work because we wouldn't get
no,
service.
because you go to the spot, we lose reception because we're out in the middle
Oh
of
no,
nowhere.
you got a rant.
Oh, good.
K-Max said.
Oh, did we? Sorry, K-Max. Let me go to the
Yeah,
rant
we don't
here.
have to read that nasty one. That guy'd have to be a douchebag like that.
Maybe
It's
it's just
kinda
being
rude.
funny, but I
Yeah,
think
it's
it's
not really funny though.
yeah.
Thank you, Ramsey says when it comes to mistreating animals, just China top the list. The whale shark video is worse. Oh, I know they're pretty abusive to. I don't really want to see it though. If you want to watch them abuse an animal, go ahead.
Well, actually, it's not even coming up. I'm getting a yeah. Your link is not coming up, and I don't like to see animals abused anyway.
Right.
I know what, but I agree with it. White people were about the only race that really cares mostly about animals, I would think.
Yeah.
And Even Evil Mustache Man, he really loved animals.
Yeah,
And
I
was
love
concerned
animals.
about 'em,
My animal's not going to go talk trash about you on X
Mhm.
behind your back. The button loves you, and the cats love me, and
Yeah.
it's like they love you for who you are, and they don't want things from you except like maybe something to eat.
You know, it's funny because we've met a lot of people doing what I do, but there's only just a handful that have become really really good friends that you
Yeah,
count on. Like Dave and his wife are in that
yeah,
category. They're just super people. And that other guy we met, Scott's that way too.
yeah,
And that other guy that's leaving the state, oh, we're gonna miss him. He was
yeah.
great. So there are some really good people, but I was telling Sasha that this whole sphere of, I don't know what it is, but I'll call it entertainment, are in general people like your e-celebrities that you see, they will smile to your face and they'll just stab you in the
Well, we
back.
were talking about that because Milo said that on Alex Stein's show, how all these people, like, after he got in trouble, they dropped him
He
like a
only
hot
got three
potato.
that stood by him.
Yeah, and everybody else just, when you're
It
good,
really
they'll
is
kiss your
true.
ass,
Yeah.
but if something happens, they're just kind of
You
clinging
get all these
on.
people try to get on your clout. Alex Stein did that with me, you know.
Well, he did. I got him, I messaged him, and I mean, he wouldn't even reply to me now, I bet, but like, he came on and he was nice, and then he
I don't
ghosted
even think
me.
he's that talented.
He's not. He did that joke that was funny, that rap that was
Yeah.
funny, and the AOC thing was funny, and that's like it, really.
And
it's
that's
the
funny
same
because
joke over and
Milo
over.
kind of mogged him on that because saying, you did that joke 3 years ago. Why don't you do something new?
Yeah. Well, he was kind of telling him the hard truths, really.
I don't think he's that talented.
He's not.
He's in my opinion, a pure grifter. Alex
Well, he
Stein.
is.
He doesn't have any true beliefs. He just does what
Well,
he
he
can
even
do.
did it to Ralph too, and it's like what I said. Yeah, I get it. You don't want to go to his like WrestleMania or whatever it was. Why did you tell him you'd go and then flake out on him last
I know.
minute? You should have just never said he would go. Like, it's just shitty to do that to or ghost people. Like, oh yeah, I'll meet up with you guys when you're in Texas, and then you go and you message
Well,
him.
this
and he
is
just bugs you
like I
off.
tell you guys, if I tell you behind the scenes stuff, I guess I could write a book on it. 80% of these people that you know are just shitty people.
Yeah.
They really are when you know them. Not there's some really. I'll give you some exceptions. Jared Taylor's a
Right.
decent, really good guy.
Yeah, Z-Man was cool.
Z-Man, a really decent guy.
Right.
But a lot of people, they just put on an act. They don't even. They're not
Well,
sincere.
did you say Richard Spencer was like being abusive toward the bartender?
He was. He's an asshole.
Yeah.
And yeah, I could go down the list
Yeah.
of people that are just pieces of shit.
Oh, you got another chat here.
Okay.
Dolph Adaman, thank you. Went on the best date with the hottest girl. She said she's conservative and Trump supporter without me bringing up politics. How do you tell if she's for real? Well, she's probably is if she told you that.
Yeah.
Because I don't know any women that would just say that they're for Trump, unless they're like a grifter on like, YouTube or something. But as far as in real life, I mean, I don't know. It's not ever really that popular, at least in Fayetteville, to come out and say you support Trump.
There are some women that are very right wing, though.
There are.
They really are.
And then here's one from K-Max. Thank you. At Amarin Session, was everybody pretty nice? Who stood out as nice? Who stood out as aloof? All the people I talked to, for the most part, were nice.
Yeah, just off that, I don't want to diss anyone because I didn't have any bad experience with anyone, so I'll just say that off the bat. But the people that were always very kind, obviously Jared Taylor is. I'm going to defend him because he was running the whole show, so he doesn't have like a ton of time with everyone. But he spent time with us. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's a really super guy, and he's the guy that what you see on camera is what you see off.
Yeah.
Because most of these people, they're two different people.
It was like almost surreal meeting him.
Yeah,
it was weird.
he's a
like it's like,
he's
oh
a
my
genuine
god,
guy.
he's in the flesh.
And
It was just
another
weird.
really genuine guy I talked a lot to because we're about the same age as Z-Man,
Yeah.
and we kind of have a similar background.
Well, it's
so.
weird seeing these people in real life because you're used to listening to them or
Well,
like,
Z-Man, you
watching
never
them.
see his face. in
No,
public,
but still,
yeah.
and that's why it was kind of strange because we didn't know what he looked like, and then he said,
Mm-hmm.
"I know you," and he pointed me, and at first I had to listen, and it's like, "Oh, I know your voice, it's Z-Man."
And then I met. He goes by Shadow 1776. I won't say his real name, but he met us at Amran. He's on a round table.
Yeah.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a bad experience with anyone really. And I met Anthony Cumia. I thought he was really nice. We talked a little bit. He's a really talented man. And it's too bad. Yeah, his girlfriend. I met her. She seemed sweet. And
Yeah,
she
I
talked
thought
to
she
you.
was nice.
Then she got mad at you for some. I don't get women how they get catty
I
like
don't
that, but
either. She's just jelly. Because I'm not with a guy old enough to be my grandpa.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're a
He's
lot
supposed
older,
to be
but-
Catholic and all this like on her ex, and it's like, oh, but you're living with a guy you're not married to, and yeah.
But but
I
how would
won't-
you answer
I
that
won't
in
go
people
there.
that
I could destroy her in like 5
who were
seconds. but I won't.
who were the people that you found good that you really
Jared.
enjoyed? Yeah.
Jared was really, really cool.
Yeah, she also met some lady. I don't. We won't say her real name, but she pulled you out, and you had a good conversation with her.
Yeah, we exchanged numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was a guy, and I told him about Zoo Tycoon.
Mm-hmm.
Like we were talking about games, and it was funny. He wrote it down. Yeah, I talked to a lot of people. There was a younger guy that I talked to.
Yeah.
We talked about horror movies, and I just kind of went around, and people recognized me from your show, and
I really high risk.
So-
But would you highly recommend people go?
yeah,
It's
it's a
real
good way to
fun.
meet people. Like
It's
and the
mostly
speeches are
social.
nice.
You have your
It is
speeches, but
social.
then
And it's nice to be with like-minded people. I think that's why I got kind of like bothered that she was like dissing me like that, because it's like, wow, because you think like, oh, like-minded people and everybody here is going to be cool, and then you find out like, oh no, there's douchebags, everywhere you go. It's
maybe
just kinda
it's
sad.
maybe it's a class thing because we're from Arkansas and she was from like Manhattan or something. I don't know, but I don't know. We're kind of just regular people. I hope I'm genuine everywhere. Like I want to be like Jared. I'm the same
Yeah.
off the camera beforehand. I try to
Except
be
the
nice to
LARPing
people.
is a southerner.
Yeah,
That's your
I do that.
fault.
No, I own
Mister, I'm nervous about driving on a dirt road is not a southerner.
I own property here in the South,
Yeah.
so and I have the Confederate
It's
battle
funny,
flag,
even
right?
one of the
Look it
guys-
over there. Look
I
right
don't
there.
care. Joe, you have some symbols up. That doesn't make you that. And it was funny because even somebody last night at that party said something about that, like you were like a city boy. Somebody said that, and it's like you really are deep down, like you're a suburban guy.
Yeah, I guess I am.
I think I can live just about anywhere, though. I've lived in the country and the city and like college town.
Now, to be fair, I was raised not a city boy or a country boy. I was raised a suburban.
I don't know what you'd call Rockford. It was a little city. I grew up in a little city.
Yeah, then in your teen years, you were in the real rural.
Yeah, it's funny. My friend Mark, he said, you grew up in a decaying little city, and then you moved to a decaying small town, and it's like pretty much.
Although there's been a resurgence
All right.
in this area. Northwest Arkansas is really growing.
It's getting gentrified.
It is.
That's only, I don't know how else to say it. It's getting hipster.
Where Sasha, where her dad lives real near it, a town next to it. We saw our first sighting of a guy that, the guys that wear the bikes and they look in their Tour de France, with all the hipster look.
Oh, they're all over.
And it's like, what the hell, that
Arkansas.
you would have saw, and it's a lot of these little towns are starting to become kind of like you said, gentrified. They really are. You just have
I kind of liked it the way it used to be, though.
yeah.
I don't know. It was more hometowny, and you knew people, and it's getting. I mean, I'm glad for some things. Like, it's really cool. We have like a place you can have concerts now, because Megadeth never would have come here when I was in high school. And the fact we got a Lego store and things like that, it's kind of cool. But I don't like all the extra people. I wish we could have the concerts and the stores without the people. But you have to have the people to have those things.
K-Max had another one.
Oh, thank you. Another guy I cannot figure out is Stu Peters. He started as normal with a staff. Now all I see is Stu Peters spurging out hatred. Not sure why he switched so much. Thoughts on Peters? I'm sorry, it's Moscow.
You're from Moscow. I'll answer this first, and Sasha. I've been on the Stu Peters show a couple times, and he was very gracious to me. But I've become a little disappointed with him a little bit. He kind of went into the whole J thing 24/7, and I think that is an issue. And it's so funny because people accuse me of being that, because I think pretty hard on them, but I just think he kind of spiraled in that way. It's just not me.
Yeah.
What do you think, Sasha?
I don't know anything about him really, except they made fun of him on Kino Casino because he was at AFPAC, and he had some speech where he kind of told off Marjorie
Oh,
Taylor
yeah,
Greene,
yeah.
And he was a bounty hunter, and that's all I really know. I never watched his show.
He's a guy that always seems kind of angry too,
He does.
and it's I don't get that either. So
Maybe he's like lonely or something. Sometimes
know.
I
Some
wonder
people
if
always
these people,
seem
they're just unhappy.
perpetually pissed off or
They
whatever.
do.
But I was on a show, and I had nothing. He was nice to me, and I have nothing against him. It's just I quit doing that. I don't do a lot of shows anymore because I just get very well, Sasha and I were talking about. I get a little jaded about a lot of these people, and
Yeah.
I'm not talking about Stu. It's just I don't know. I end up not a lot of the people that you guys see that are kind of the e-celebrities. For the most part, I don't really like them as people.
Oh,
And
I saw this on Kiwi Farms and I forgot to tell you about it. I don't know if it's true or if it was photoshopped, but they said Chrissy Mayer used to have like some kind of OnlyFans and there's naked pictures of her on Kiwi Farms and it looks like her.
you had to pay her, or she paid you.
I think you had to pay her.
Oh wow, I'm gonna
But
guess
if you
that.
go on Kiwi Farms, you can find it. And I was like, is this for real? Like people were saying it was.
Chrissy Mayer.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
she's not the most pretty of girls, but
well, her naked pictures were on Kiwi Farms if they're not photoshopped.
well, you never know
Yeah, they
because you
could
can
be.
Photoshop those now.
But
with,
they looked, I mean, they looked legit.
yeah.
But I don't know.
Was she naked or?
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to check that out now.
I was like, okay, we got to end the show so I can look this up now.
Look at see Chrissy Mayer's nudes.
If it's true, I mean, they may be, like I said, it might be Photoshop bullshit.
Yeah, for legal reasons,
Right.
alleged. We don't know.
Right.
If
We don't know.
Yeah, it could be fakes to shit because that is
There is a lot of fake shit.
There is.
Like,
They've done that where they could put your head on a body. Some of that though, I would think women would think, "Wow, that's cool." Put my
Well, I
head
saw,
on this
like,
big, you know.
my ugly fat cousin on Facebook had like some kind of filters where she looked really good, and I'm like, I want to do that, but I don't know, some kind of like app or something you get. They have things that can make you look really nice. It'd be hard to date if you're dating online nowadays because you'd have to wonder how many of those pictures are fake, or you maybe go out on a date with somebody and they're not quite what you thought you were going on a date with.
Yeah. That does happen a lot. They do the fat girl angle. You can
They
kind of
do.
tell. And
Well, that
stuff like-
Carlin, where I was talking about that Carlin, she would always do that, have all these fillers, or not fillers, filters, and then she would pose in a certain way, and then they'd show pictures where she had like 3 chins and how big she really was.
I think guys look at girls different than girls look at girls, though. The girls are more picky, I think.
Well, I think as long as with guys, you guys like women that are thin. And as long as you're not,
I had an
at least with you.
ex-girlfriend. She would say, well, "How can you like that girl? Do you see her eyebrows?" I'm like, "What? No, I never even checked that out." So, but women look at stuff like that, so it's kind of weird.
Well, you're one of those people. You'll be like, "Doesn't they look like so and so?" And I'm like, "They look nothing like so and so." And you're bad at
I do.
doing
I
facial
think they call it
recognition.
like face blindness. I have
You're
troubles.
face blind.
But like they showed a recent example of the guy that supposedly shot the CEO.
Oh yeah.
They showed that one picture of him when it was kind of dark, and they showed the other with the face off. I'm like, are these the same guy? I can't really tell the difference.
Well, some of that stuff's hard to tell because it's blurry.
Yeah.
No.
And then some, like a lot of Asians all look alike to me, so I can't tell either. So, I mean, it's true. I mean, it's just hard for me. I just can't distinguish people that well. And this is the truth to me. So, I don't know. But we always get an argument about that. I would say, oh, that girl's kind of cute on TV. She gets mad at me. No, she isn't. What was that recently? We were watching. Oh, it's Sex and the City. I thought that the brunette was prettier than that.
Well,
blonde.
she's pretty, but she's not as prettier than Kim Cattrall.
Well, I disagreed.
Kim
because-
Cattrall's the prettiest. When they're at the peak, like the hottest they've ever were, she would be the prettiest.
I guess she was
Sorry.
younger. That's why I picked her. Yeah.
She's like 42 or something when the show
Well, did you
started.
see all those like Graper got mad at Pamela Anderson because she's
Well,
57 and she looked fine to me. I don't know.
people were saying that she's never had work done. It's like, yeah, she did, because Adrian Curry showed it like 5 years ago or something. She had a facelift, and they showed pictures. But I mean, I think she looks fine, but she has had plastic surgery. So this, I'm natural. It's like, no, you're just not wearing makeup now.
We got one from Steve Campbell again.
Thank you. I hope to go to the next AMRAN. I
Excellent.
always say that the UK nationalist scene is more active, but then I don't get around to going to AMRAN. So it's kind of my fault. I don't know more nationalists in real life.
Well,
yeah,
let me just jump in and let you go because
Okay.
I'm going to defend because I think Jared Taylor might object a little bit. It's not really a nationalist thing. It's just conference where we have different, because a lot of people really spurred out because Amy Wax talked. She's a Jewish woman,
Yeah.
and they've had
Laura Loomer was there one year.
Jews talk a lot there,
I do.
and so it's not like a it's just where Amy Wax talked about race realism, that race is real.
Yeah.
And they had American Indian talk. They've had Michelle Mawkins talk.
Yeah.
So thank you, Steve. I don't mean to try to. It's just understand it's a conference where people talk about ideas. So what would you go ahead? What you were going to say, Sasha?
I was going to say, I think they said they already know when the next one's going to be. So if you have to plan ahead, you can start looking into whatever, like tickets or.
And it's really.
I don't know if they have it up yet, but Jared said.
And people, it's funny because in real life they're so much nicer than online. Because I never had someone come up to me and Amber say, "Boomer Jew." You know what I mean? It's just online you get a lot of spurry behavior. So.
Yeah. It's kind of like Button. She talks tough to the TV, but in real life, she's real scared.
Yeah, Button, whenever there's a dog on TV, she's like, "Oh, yeah, come at me, you son of a bitch." He wants to fight. But in real life, if she sees a dog, she's like,
We went down to the square last weekend to look at the Christmas lights in Button.
Just so you guys know, that's in Fayetteville, because they may not know that.
Yeah.
It's a square downtown. A lot of towns, I think, have this with Christmas lights.
They do,
and
and it's really pretty out
It
down
is,
there.
yeah.
But we took Button, and there was other dogs down there, and there'd be these dopey-looking dogs like, "Ooh," and they'd look over at Button with their tongues hanging out, and Button would be like, "Oh, I'm scared," and she'd get real close to Paul and under my legs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Is she over there still? Wake up, sleepyhead.
Is she over here? Yeah, she's sleeping over
She
there.
likes her new sweater.
Yeah, she does. She looks nice, and we gonna. Yeah, it's fun. I think Sasha really likes to dress her up. She's already got her next year her Halloween costume.
Well, they had dog clothes on clearance at Kohl's today.
Yeah.
And they had a Woodstock outfit for like $6. So.
And as we said, she doesn't mind them at all.
Yeah.
In fact, she likes them. She doesn't.
I
bother
got her a
them.
raincoat because she doesn't like to get wet when she goes outside, and now she has a raincoat.
She's kind of a prissy dog for being a country dog.
Yeah.
She was found in the country, but she doesn't like to be in the rain, or
Right.
she doesn't like it when it's too cold.
She won't play fetch.
Now, she has no idea because we were talking about even last night because how race is real, but you can see that in dogs because all dogs are dogs, but breeds they have different behaviors quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And Button does not. She's more of a spaniel type, although she's not purebred. But she's really good at spotting things, and they are used to bark and kind of like they see a pheasant, push them out.
Yeah.
But they don't kill, they don't attack,
Right.
and they don't retrieve like a retriever retrieves, and they're not like a guard dog. So she's a horrible guard dog, but she observes things and barks when she sees them, so that's good. But yeah, she doesn't retrieve at all. You throw a tennis ball, she's like, what the hell are you trying to do here?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. I threw a ball at her, and she's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, she did. She's like, huh?
Why are you throwing that thing at me? I'm like, you're supposed to catch it. No, never will do that.
She's a laid back, easy to get along with dog, though.
Yeah, she's she likes to rest and sleep, and she's housebroken well, and she doesn't. The big thing with Sasha is really good with her because Sasha collects toys. She doesn't chew up like we have her Christmas teddy bears Sasha out, and Button will never chew any of that
No,
stuff.
Buddy
up.
would.
Your cat will, yeah.
Yeah, Buddy chews up. Buddy's more of a dog than Button.
Well,
It's almost like they've switched
Button is literally scared of the cats.
And she won't come when you call her name. If I call Buddy's name, he comes right to me. He'll play fetch, and he chews up toys. He's a dog, more of a dog than Button.
Yeah, Button's just a dog that likes luxury. So
Yeah,
it's
she
kind of
likes to be with you.
she does.
If he leaves the room and we're playing or something, she'll look up all, where's he going?
Yeah, she is that way, that's for sure. Okay, let's see if we got everything.
I think we got everything.
Yeah, we got the
Check the Rumble thing. Make sure.
Yeah, sometimes Rumble kind of goes by and
Did
we
you
miss
do
it.
that one? No, we did that one already.
Oh, about the Chinese.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
think
don't
we're
like the
good.
Chinese mistreatment of
I
animals.
don't either.
It's weird. I almost hate to see mistreatment of animals more than people.
Me
I'm not sure.
too.
It is pretty weird.
Oh, check the power chat thing again to make sure stream elements. Check that stream elements again. Yeah, okay, we did that one. I think we got them all.
Yeah, and so guys, thank you, and again, thanks for putting up with our different schedule on night owls. Sasha's like, yeah, we should do one because Friday night,
We skipped.
well, because we had to get up early Saturday, and there's a lot of stuff going on. So,
Wing IT said hillbilly cats rock. Do you think Buddy's a hillbilly cat? He did come from the country. He was a little feral guy.
who?
Buddy.
Well, they all came from the country.
Yeah, but I mean, he was like wandering around. Or, well, Louise was wandering around on the side of the road. But Buddy and his family were found like out in the woods.
Well, didn't a
somewhere.
Button, your uncle, find him wandering on the road?
Button. Yeah. But he was talking about cats.
Yeah. So Button was like dumped off, and that's not how we got her, but that's how Sasha's uncle brought her in, and
Did
Sasha's
you tell
uncle
people
died.
about the painting? That I painted
it's right there.
last
Why don't you show
weekend?
it? You did a painting of Button. It's pretty cool.
They had a
Sasha,
painting with a twist,
yeah,
and I did the
Sasha
paint
painted
with that.
this picture of Button, so it's kind of cute, I thought.
I gave it to Paul for early Christmas present.
Yes, so I'll hang that up. So thank you, Sasha.
Mhm.
So Sasha painted that.
They drew it though, so I can't take
That's
their
okay.
total credit. I might try to see if I could draw one of the cats.
When I was a kid, I used to paint by numbers. That was kind of
I used
fun.
to do that. Yeah.
And I also built, I don't know if you guys did this, I did models, and I like to
I
do
like
like
models.
battleships and tanks
I like models
and
too.
planes, warplanes.
I did
So-
a car. I have a Christine car that I need to do a model, but I just
Mhm.
haven't had time. Model cars take time because you
They
have to
do.
put all the engine together and paint all the parts.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
like doing those model little stores and stuff. Like for our wedding thing, somebody gave me a little candy shop, and when I
Mhm.
was recovering from my surgery, I put it together. And then I got like an Alice's tea shop kit, and it comes with all these little pieces. It's kind of like a dollhouse, but you glue all this stuff together. It's really fun.
By the way, you've done a lot better since your surgery. Your scar's almost gone.
Well, kind of. They said it'll be a year before it's like almost just a line,
Yeah,
but it looks better than it did.
it did. Yeah, looks good. So, all right, guys. Monday, tomorrow, I'll have the Ramsey Paul show in the evening, and I'll try to do a video during the day and maybe write an article for Substack and put out there and all that. So it's been fun doing this with you guys. And anything else, Sasha?
Yeah,
Or?
we're done.
All right. Talk to you guys later.
Bye.